It is time for the Patriots after this season to move on from Bill Belichick and also to move on from Mac Jones. More so to move on from Mac Jones and Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick may still have a shot with this team after this season because there was a report that he signed a contract extension after this season. It was also a report that they just may part ways with Bill Belichick. So we'll see what happens with Bill. But one thing that is for certain, this entire offense is not good. And Bill Belichick basically made this offense. Bill O'Brien is at wit's end with Mac Jones. Mac Jones is maybe the worst starting quarterback in the NFL over Zach Wilson. When you look at the decision makings, it is ridiculous to what he's doing on the field. Now today against the Indianapolis Colts, his numbers don't look too bad. He was 15 of 20 for 170 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. He got sacked 5 times. The offensive line is not that bad for him to be getting sacked 5 times. He holds onto the football for too long when wide receivers are getting open. He's trigger shy. That means that he's not confident in throwing the football when guys are open and when he sees those tight window throws that he was making at Alabama. And another situation is this. His decision making is just terrible. Maybe the worst decision making in the NFL for a starting quarterback. He just throws the ball into double coverage when guys are wide open underneath. He's just trying to get big plays when you don't need to. And this isn't just something that started this season. He leads the league in interceptions with 10 interceptions on the season. We can go back to last season. And I understand, yeah, Matt Patricia calling plays. They threw him underneath the bus. The offensive line was not the best. And the wide receiver core was still not good. He isn't in a good situation, for one. I will say that about Mac Jones. But for two, he's not helping the situation with the poor reads and the terrible decision makings. He can't read an NFL defense. When you look at his rookie season, Josh McDaniels dumbed everything down. It was a bunch of curl routes, a bunch of slant routes, and they were working off the run game. They haven't been able to do that the last 2 seasons. And Ramondre Stevenson is starting to pick his game up this season. He hasn't had the best season, but he's been very solid. Ezekiel Elliott, it is what it is at this point in time in his career. He's a running back that's going to get you 3 to 4 yards at a time, and that's it. He doesn't have the same juice that he had a couple seasons ago. His longest rush in the Indianapolis Colts game went for 9 yards. He had 13 carries for 54 yards. That is the perfect role for Ezekiel Elliott. And Ramondre Stevenson had 20 carries for 88 yards. But it's hard for this team to run the football when they're stacking the box against Mac Jones because they don't have a consistent wide receiver that can go out there and get open. Demario Douglas is not a true number 1 wide receiver. Juju Smith-Schuster has been a bust signing with this team. On the season, he has 21 catches for 140 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. He's averaging 7 yards a catch. And Juju is best when he's a number 2 option. We've been through this before in his career. When he played opposite side of Antonio Brown, that's when he was at his best. When he played opposite side of Travis Kelce, granted he is a tight end, but that means he's a number 2 target on that team because Kelce brings in so much attention. That's when he's at his best. When you ask Juju Smith-Schuster to be a number 1 wide receiver, we saw what happened with the Steelers. It's not a pretty sight. He's not a true number 1. Mike Gesicki is not a true tight end. Not with this team. He's not a good tight end with this team. That's why the Dolphins had no problems letting him go. Hunter Henry is solid, but it goes back to what Bill Belichick did a couple off seasons ago in free agency when he went out and got Matthew Judon, Jonnu Smith, and all those guys. And the best signing in that core was Matthew Judon. He's a brilliant defensive mind, but as a talent evaluator on offense, he is terrible. Horrible, because he also played a big part of this team going out and getting Mac Jones. And what Mac Jones did so well in college was throw to wide receivers that could get open as quick of a hiccup, and he could throw the ball on a dime to fast wide receivers. You don't have 5 fast wide receivers with this team. Tyquan Thornton can't get things going either. So you look at this Patriots team, the way that this roster is constructed on the offensive side is terrible. And Bill Belichick plays a huge part of that. You can say that he was getting carried by Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels through those golden years on the offense, and I wouldn't argue with you because that's true. But one thing that you can't take away from Bill Belichick is that he is a brilliant defensive mind. Because today against the Indianapolis Colts, they held his team to 10 points with no Christian Gonzalez, with no Matthew Judon for the last couple of weeks. Their defense has been solid. Their offense has been shooting them in the foot. I have no problem with Bill Belichick still coming in and being the coach of this team next season. And you may call me crazy. And the reason why I say that is this. He's a very good defensive mind. But if you yank away his decision makers and you don't let him just have complete control over this team and he is still willing to stay, I'm down for that. If he still wants complete control, let him go. because what he has done the last couple of years is not good enough and is not going to get any better. This team, in my opinion, I do not approve of tanking, but they should not win another game this season. They should continue to put Mac Jones on the field and try to draft you a real quarterback, a guy like Drake May or Michael Penix, because right now, Mac Jones not going to get any better with this team. And after this season, he should be done. And Bailey Zappi is not the guy either. If these guys are the answers to your questions, you're asking the wrong questions. They're not the solution to anybody's problem. And if they are, you got a major problem. This team is not good enough on the offensive end. They can't get things going. I'm not going to blame the defense because they have some nice defensive talent for the next couple of years. I said that about Josh Uche. He's a very good pass rusher. I like Matthew Judon, but he's out right now dealing with bicep injury. You look at Christian Gonzalez. Before he got hurt in the Dallas Cowboys game, he was looking like a star corner in the NFL. Kyle Duggar is a solid safety, so they have good defensive pieces. They just can't put up points. And in today's NFL, if you can't score points, you're not going to win. And guess what this team can't do? They can't score on the field offensively. And it all comes down to Bill Belichick. He has regressed Mac Jones from his rookie season because this is his third offensive coordinator. You had Josh McDaniels the first season. You made the NFL playoffs. He looked okay for a rookie. Still threw a lot of interceptions. His second season last season, he dealt with injuries to the ankle. You bring in Bailey Zappi, the entire fan base like Bailey Zappi more than Mac Jones, but you had Matt Patricia calling plays, and the wide receivers still weren't good for this team last season. And this season, you bring back Bill O'Brien. And I don't expect for him to do much with this team because guess what? You don't have the offensive personnel, and that's on Bill Belichick. As a head coach, he's been very good for this team. Obviously, he has every ring that this team has and every championship that this team has. He's been the head coach for. But you also had Tom Brady be the starting quarterback as well. And it's starting to look worse and worse for Bill Belichick when he tries to beat the allegation that Tom Brady basically carried him and that franchise on his back. Him and Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman did a lot of good, a lot of great with that franchise. And since then, they have been able to get things going. I'm not surprised why Tom Brady wanted to leave and go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because even when Tom Brady was there, the wide receivers still weren't great. He was just getting the best out of those guys. That is how great Tom Brady was with this Patriots team. And that's just how bad of a talent evaluator Bill Belichick was on the offensive end when it came to wide receivers and offensive linemen. But let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this Patriots team. Should they move on from Bill Belichick and Mac Jones after this season? Can they turn things around? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Have a blessed day. Peace.